welcome back to Minecraft. Sorry about the chaotic episode last week. Weather bad. Anyway, I've scoured my comment section, all 2 of them, and I was a little confused. But I have decided to name him Pirate. Mostly I'm confused because I don't remember my own videos. You kidding me? I made that like a week ago. All that memory has been purged to make room for, I don't know, like, apparently nothing. Nothing has been stored in what was once last week's video. But here we are. It's actually like 2 weeks ago, because I got everything back on schedule, so I was recording a week in advance, and man, I tell you what, bugs do be bugging. But we're back. Dog's name is Pirate. We're gonna tell him to sit because I don't want him jumping up there with me and accidentally falling off the building, because, you know, that happens sometimes. But yeah, say hi to Pirate, everybody. So, something that's happened is, Nanowrimo is officially shutting down, and I have mixed feelings about it. I've never been really a part of the community. It's something I've always wanted to join and actually, like, join a community and be part of it and everything, but I never could because it was always kind of impossible for me because when I was in school, I didn't have enough time to write 5,000 words in a month. You kidding me? I had all of my schoolwork. I was a grade ahead in math. I was taking as many college courses in high school as I could. And I was a part of a lot of extracurriculars, so I just didn't have a lot of free time, period. It really fucking stressed me out. And then, as a result of all of that constant, chronic stress for years of my developing life, when I turned 18, for my 18th birthday, I developed schizophrenia. Pretty disabling case, actually. And then 50,000 words was unattainable just because brain no work good no more. So it was something I always kind of sat on the sideline, you know, looking through my windows at a greener pasture with rose-tinted glasses, like, oh man, that seems so lovely. But apparently, a lot of shit going on in the background, like child endangerment, because people were like, I want to work with kids, and nobody did any background checks. Real good idea on the internet, no less. And then I think one of the cataclysms that really kind of like sunk the boat, I guess you could say, was their take on AI. They basically said, oh yeah, dude, there are some disabled people that wouldn't be able to do this challenge without AI, so like y'all should really embrace it and whatever. And that really pissed me off because it felt like I was, you know, not me specifically, but people like me were being scapegoated. And for something that is, at least for me, completely unhelpful, when there were better solutions to the problem. And I thought I could talk about this. I thought I could talk about this while playing Minecraft, because it has come to my attention via my husband that these videos are kind of boring. So I'm trying to, like, also think of podcasts and stuff. So hi, it's me, Evo, your resident disabled schizophrenic, here to give my 2 cents on NaNoWriMo and ableism. Now, you probably know what schizophrenia is, at least the basics, you know, it's the whole hearing voices in your head, that kind of thing. Except if that was all that it is, I'd probably be in a lot better position, all things considered. Alright. right. Freya ain't happy with the attention she's receiving from another cat. Sorry. Freya is a lovely girl, but she does not particularly like other cats getting close to her. Unless it is her mother and brother, but she does not like anybody else. But, yeah, back to the conversation at hand. I'd probably be in, like, an okay-ish spot if all schizophrenia was hallucinations. But alas, a lot of it is also cognitive problems. And not just, like, you know, with ADHD, you've got, like, executive dysfunction. Schizophrenia comes with that, too, but it can also come with, like, memory problems, and, like, it literally makes it hard to, like, think. Like, my thoughts can be really jumbled and confusing, even for me, and to some extent, it affects how I talk. Like, when I go in, if I have to meet, like, a new psychiatrist or whatever, they'll talk with me about a lot of random stuff. One, to build, like, rapport and to build trust. I'm kind of shy when I first meet somebody. But I guess you can... There's something called, like, thought disorder, where your mental illness can affect how you speak, and it can make you talk really funny. And so listen to me ramble about something can kind of show that, oh yeah, this bitch don't talk too good sometimes. It probably means there's some disorganized thinking going along in there, if that makes any sense. So, you know, while I'm talking about this, you'll probably hear just, like, a strange way of talking, and it's not something I can really fix. Honestly, I cringe a lot, because I edit my own videos. I'll, like, cringe. It's like, why did it take you so long to say that? Like, Jesus Christ, just think of what you're saying and say it. But that's just not how my brain works. So as you can imagine, writing, you know, especially, like, something as structured as a story, something as methodical as a story, it can be a rather time-consuming process. So even if I spend, like, an hour a day writing, I'm probably only realistically going to get, like, 500 pages down. There is, what, like, 30 to 31 days in a month? I don't remember how much is in November exactly, but 30 times 500 is, what, 15,000, I think? So yeah, that's quite a bit short. And so I've never even attempted NaNoWriMo because I knew for me it was impossible. That no matter, I could work myself to the point of burnout and severely harm my own mental health, and I'd never be able to complete the challenge. But I don't think that generative AI writing the story for me is the solution to that problem, if that makes sense. Like, you want to know what would be a better solution than stealing other people's work and not actually writing in a month about writing? Just there being an appropriate like an appropriate attainable goal for people who might not have the time, or for some reason like just can't write as fast as maybe an established author or like an abled person could. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I know if I pushed myself spending an hour a day for 30 days to write 15,000 words, then maybe 10,000 is a more obtainable number for me personally. I just think that would be a better solution. And so I guess the whole thing with NaNoWriMo absolutely going fist deep, so to speak, into AI because of the disabled people that need help was just If I was a less cynical person, I'd say that it was just a poor attempt at trying to be inclusive, but honestly, I do think disabled people were just scapegoated. Because my husband's always wanted to write a book, and everyone laughed because he's got dyslexia pretty bad. I think he told me he graduated high school with a 4th grade reading level. But that man is so goddamn creative. Okay. And he remembers things like really well. Like if you read him something, he'll remember it and comprehend it really well. Like his ability to listen and comprehend is extraordinary. Like I'm jealous, honestly, because I wish sometimes I could just listen to directions and understand it. But alas, if you tell me what to do without showing me or letting me read what to do, I'm not gonna comprehend it at all. So like, it's something where I think certain types of AI could benefit, you know, somebody with dyslexia, but not it writing the whole book for you. I'm talking like text-to-speech that will take what he's saying and write it down in a way that is grammatically correct and whatever. Now that would be harder for him because he also has a speech impediment, but you know what I'm saying? It's like this technology is close. You know what I mean? It's so close to actually being useful, but the people who are like in charge of making it refuse to actually make it useful. If that makes sense. Like, why are we putting so much time into technology that will write books for us instead of using it to actually maybe help somebody who could use help to write? I'm not sure if I'm really coming across coherent, but it's something that has pissed me off, and I'm kind of glad to see the organization kind of bite the dust, because I think within the last 5 years, NaNoWriMo has probably done more harm to the writing community than it was than it has benefited on like the whole. And there's a lot of established authors or people who were once a part of the community that have basically started their own version of NaNoWriMo, and they are probably doing way better. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my 2 cents on it. It's just, it's really frustrating when people are like either performatively or genuinely they want to quote unquote help people with disabilities, but I feel like they don't listen to actually help. They just assume they know what they're doing and can fix the problem. Because when it comes to writing, there's a lot of different things that could result in someone struggling in a writing competition like NaNoWriMo. And, all of those different problems are going to have their own different solutions. And so the only way you would truly know how to help is by actually listening, I suppose. Because that's something I would have recommended in a heartbeat. Make tiered challenges. Betsy, who's a single mother in, Betsy, who's a single mother down in Georgia, probably don't have the time working her 2 jobs and raising her kids to write 50,000 words in a month, in 30 days, maybe 31. Editing Evil put how long November is. But, I think a lot could have been done just by making a tiered challenge system. And I know that's possible because a lot of those... I'm a part of one of the splinter groups of Nanowrimo, and the only reason why I joined it is, one, the lady who's running it makes journal videos, and that's actually how I found her. Not through, like, Nanowrimo lighting a fire to their dumpster and parading it down New York Avenue or whatever. It's because she made journal videos, and then that just happened to be a part of it. But, like, she literally made, like, a tier system, and including one where you can make your own. So you could set your own goal to work towards, and then everybody can just get together and help each other stay accountable and actually try to write something obtainable throughout the month. And I think that's really nice. I think that's really beautiful. And it's unfortunate to see such an official organization that's been around for a hot minute, seemingly within a couple of years, absolutely shoot themselves in the foot, and then in the knee, and then in the head. When they could have just changed for the better. I'll probably let it go there. We've got more stuff that we can talk about. But I had just watched a video about somebody talking about the fall of Nanowrimo. They were coming from a more business perspective. I'll try to put the link in the comments to both HeartBreathings, the group that I've joined, as well as that video I've watched that kind of got me on this train of thought, because just in case you're curious, but that's kind of my 2 cents on it. I don't like being scapegoated because it happens a lot. Schizophrenia in particular is still a very stigmatized mental health disorder. In a lot of, posts that's like, I don't want to say pro mental health disorder, but like raising awareness, hardly ever talks about psychotic disorders. You'll hear a lot about depression and other mood disorders, anxiety, even personality disorders before you'll really hear about schizophrenia because it's so very taboo. And I'm sure when you think of somebody who commits a violent act because of their mental health, it's going to be because of schizophrenia. After all, legally, it's like you can plead guilty but insane. And I think the definition of schizophrenia literally has to do something about, like, losing touch with reality or whatever. But I can assure you that I am not capable of harming anyone, not only just from, like, a size perspective, but it is so against my nature to actively want to hurt anything. I struggle to kill spiders, and I absolutely hate spiders. Not just because I'm afraid, but because I actually feel guilty. So here we are. I couldn't hurt a fly. Or I can barely hurt a fly, I should say. But... And so whenever, like, violent crime or something happens, or when people are like, we need to work on the mental health of this country, it kind of stings a little bit more. I agree, mental health in this country sucks. It sucks when you're diagnosed with something that you're going to have for the rest of your life that needs constant psych appointments and therapy appointments, and without health insurance that will cover that, it's like $300 per appointment. If I'm doing well, that's 4 psych appointments a year. So that on its own is like $1,200 a year. Therapy is a bit more flexible, but it seems that I do best on bi-weekly appointments, also about $200, $300. So that's 24 times 300. That's a big enough number. I can't even do the mental math right now. For appointments alone, that's excluding medications, because antipsychotics are also expensive. For a month's dose of it. And my antidepressants. So, like, that's a problem on its own. If my husband didn't have a job that provides me good health insurance, I probably wouldn't be here right now, all things considered. Because I might not be capable of hurting somebody else, but I'm damn capable of hurting myself sometimes, so... That's an issue. That's unattainable. But whenever people say we need to work on the mental health of this country, I never hear anything about that. It's mostly just talking about violent criminals, and I feel it, you know? It makes me sad, because I'm over here suffering pretty much every day. I didn't ask for this, and I'm such a financial burden and emotional burden, and I don't want to be, but here we are. I didn't choose this. It chose me. Yay. So. Anyway. Been watching more, Lawtubers, for lack of a better word at the moment. I've been watching a new one. His name's RockyRivers. He's like a criminal defense attorney, board certified, so he takes cases and everything, works real hard. I hadn't watched him before. Not for any particular reason. I just hadn't heard of him. YouTube had not served me up one of his videos on a silver platter. And so I did not know he existed until I think I was watching TheEmilyDBaker and then later RunkleOfTheBailey. I'll have their YouTube channels down in the description too. Join me. It's a great time we have looking at cases. Looking at the courts. But everybody was really sad because his son had passed away. And I felt bad, and so to show my support, I just started watching some of his videos. You know, contribute financially. Funerals aren't cheap, you know. But yeah, it turns out I like the content, so I've just been watching that a whole lot. Right now, we'll say more of the long-formed content creators, you know, such as TheEmilyDBaker, streaming for all them hours on live court. It's kind of been waiting on the Karen Reed Part 2 case to start, which I think is coming up real soon, but also there's this one, Lori Vallow, is that her name? I don't really remember. But she's being tried for the conspiracy to murder her then husband, because shortly after he died, she got remarried to a cult leader. I don't know, it's a wild ride, but she's representing herself, and I don't like that woman. I don't like her. She makes some honestly good arguments sometimes, and I don't like her, and I hope she's found guilty anyway. I mean, I'm pretty sure she will. Just because she's making some good arguments does not mean she's doing a particularly great job representing herself. As the lawyers seem to say, a man who has himself, or a man who represents himself in court has a fool for a client, or something like that. But, bars. And that seems to be true from what I've seen over the past few years. It doesn't really turn out too well. I don't really know where I was going with that train of thought. Fucking head empty, no thought. Come on, pirate. We've got trees to grow. Damn it. Maybe I should just plant more trees. Maybe I just should surround this building and saplings so that the amount of trees that grow increase. More trees. More trees. I don't know. Anyone got some takes on that case? I mean, it's a super low stakes case because she was already found guilty for murdering her 2 children. So, you know, she's already in prison for life. Can't get much worse than that. Oh my goodness. Brain rebooting, struggling to come up with words. Error. I've been very much in enjoying modeling my own chibi character. I definitely have room to grow, you know, skill-wise. But for the first thing I'm making on my own with, like, no step-by-step instructions, I think it's coming out alright. Maybe I can put a little sneak peek or something, like, I don't know, here. But, I showed some of the concept art that I made to help me model. Gotta do better on that next time, cause I've barely actually used it as like a guiding, as like a blueprint, and I think that's why some stuff look a little wonky. Because it can be hard to see. Like how things are curving in a viewfinder. That isn't like being rendered with actual light and stuff. It can kind of be a little hard to see. Or I'm stupid, one of the two. Yo, speaking of being stupid, my therapist gave me homework last week. I'm supposed to write down something happy that happened to me that day, and write something nice about myself once a week. The happy stuff is normally a bit easier when I'm not falling apart emotionally at the seams. But, I thought that could be something we could all do together. We can all collectively think about one happy thing sometime during the video. Right now, I'm choosing now. So what's something happy? My goodness. Honestly, guys, I've had a very, very bad day. Outside of the comfort I got from 3D modeling and snuggling with, like, my dogs and my cats and stuff, I've not had a very great day. But you know what? My husband made coffee for us today like he normally does, because he's superior in every way at making coffee. Yeah, delicious. Absolutely delicious. So good, actually. So that's my happy thing for the day. I had really, really yummy coffee. Thanks to my wonderful, amazing husband. And I'm really grateful that we're together and married. It's funny, when I had originally married him, I had a lot of friends and family be like, so, what's it like being married? You know, how's it feel? And honestly, it just didn't feel very different. Because we had known each other for 5 whole years before we got married, and we had dated for 4 of those. So, I feel like once you've been with somebody for that long, it's more like a title change. Like, this is more just so that the government acknowledges us as one familial unit for tax and insurance purposes. I feel no different about this man. Oh, that's awkward. Because if I fight him, pirate might attack him and get set on fire. Yeah! Yeah, oh my god, the fucking llamas! Yeah! Yeah, we've got some mountains nearby. I should look at getting some guard llamas, too. But, yeah. I didn't feel any different to marry my husband. It was just like, again, old Uncle Sam. He takes care, he pays for me. So, kindly acknowledge my taxes to be done when his are done. Nice. Damn, you guys did good damage to him. Or is either that or he was, like, on fire and walked a hot minute over here, but... So yeah, think about something that's made you happy today. Now, I am not in a good frame of mind right now to really think about myself in a positive way. Because it's... If I'm mad at the world, I'm doubly mad at myself. So I'm not... I'm not going to be very kind to anything right now other than the people I care about. Which I am not one of those people. Temporary stairs. Because this will be filled in with wooden floors. Planning the roofs are kind of the hardest part. Unless it's The Sims 3, then roofs are really easy. I don't know. But not The Sims 4, roofs are not easy in that game. I don't know why. It should be easier to build in The Sims 4. If only it was a fun game. I don't like The Sims 4. And before somebody comes after me, a lot of the player base showed up for The Sims 4 when it became free. I want you to picture playing that base game, but even worse. And you paid, like... I think I paid $80 because I'd spent thousands of hours on The Sims 3 and they said all the right things to make us excited about The Sims 4. So I paid for, like, the deluxe version. So yeah, just picture the base game Sims 4, but with less features and it's overall worse. And you paid $80 for it. And then come and tell me how you think you would feel. Oh my god. Who makes a life sim with no toddlers in it? You know, a very fundamentally important part of human development when you, like, learn how to talk and how to walk, and it has a lot of important and exciting milestones for parents. Just exclude that from the life sim game. That's probably a great idea. And also, you know what everyone who plays The Sims community, the fan base as the whole want? MMOs, apparently. I've gotta be honest, guys. Maybe it's just me. Don't want to interact with other human beings. In fact, if I wanted to interact with other human beings, I wouldn't be playing The Sims, okay? Instead of going out to parties, I was throwing parties in my little Sims mansion, alright? Oh my god. I have such good memories of The Sims 3, at least. My mom and I would play it right next to each other. Her on, like, our home PC, and me on my little laptop when I got one. And we would just play with our separate families and update each other on the shenanigans. And there was a lot of shenanigans. I tell you what, I had to pretty much disable the university pack. Ow. Even though going to college was genuinely really fun for me, that pack was miserable. Cause, okay, one of my households, we'll call them the Miller boys, right? It was a set of triplets, and one of them was really athletic and stuff, and one of them was like really smart, and the other one was charismatic and empathetic as a whole. So like you had the muscle, you had the brains, and then you had like the Riz, you know, he had the Riz, and together they were like the unstoppable force. And let's see here. Suddenly the guy who was really strong kept dying, and I'd lose a lot of progress because that game didn't autosave. You always had to manually save. I'd lose a lot of progress because he'd crush himself with a fucking vending machine. It happened so frequently. I don't even know why he was gonna get to the vending machine. He was a vampire. Did they have any vampire snacks in the vending machine? Somehow I don't think so. But I don't remember, because I never found out what he got from the vending machine. Because the Reaper would show up as he got squished. So, and then the brains of the guy, because he liked reading and stuff, would get like the nerd club or whatever. There was like social clubs you could get into just by doing shit. And as a nerd, he'd get into the geek, and for whatever reason, if you were a geek, you were just predisposed to insulting everybody. Like, nobody wanted to be around him, because he was just automatically insulting everybody, and so that was no fun. The Riz Master, though, was safe from all of this, but I just had to disable it, because, Jesus Christ. What? Between one of them continuously dying, and, the other one, becoming, like, enemy number one of the town. I was like, this shit ain't worth it. I have plenty of food right now, so I'm just going to use my potatoes as a means of getting more trees. Work smarter, not harder. Ugh. Sorry for like my voice and stuff being really raw. I've cried 2 days in a row now. Yesterday was just kind of like the culmination of like a week's worth of stress exploding out all at once, so I had a big crying fit. And then today, I watched someone called RockyKanaka? I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. I know the first name is definitely Rocky. But he helps dogs get adopted by like sitting with them and being friends and calming them down, because if a dog isn't scared of people, they're more likely to get adopted, right? Well, the shelter had called him because there was these puppies that weren't right and they needed proper care, and he's got like a farm where he grows coffee, and that coffee funds dog rehabilitation, and so he took them in to help get them the vet stuff that they needed. And I think he said to guard your heart with these two husky puppies, because like they didn't know what was wrong and it could be much worse than they expected. And everybody was like hopeful that it was swimmers, and just with the proper nutrition they'd get better. And for some context, one of the extracurriculars I did was Science Olympiad, and I was very good at the heredity part of it. Which is basically like the study of genetics, right? To tell you how good I was, I consistently scored 4th place. Now this is in competition with a lot of other schools in our district, which a lot of them are way richer than we are. Just putting that out there. And also, you're supposed to have a team. You're supposed to be two students combining mental forces into one. So I came from a poor school district, and I had no partner, and I still came in 4th place. That's a pretty good achievement, not gonna lie. So, like, I'd say, at least when it comes to heredity and stuff like that, I have a pretty... I have more than a layman's understanding of heredity. And what comes with this knowledge is you can kind of look at something and be like, that's genetically fucked up. I know that's going to be like a horrible thing to say. But I'm looking at these dogs, knowing how much genetics can fuck up somebody from negative day one. And I'm looking at these dogs and I'm like, yeah, they have some sort of bone deformity, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Spoiler alert, one of them was not fine. But it was much worse than I had expected it to be. Like, I guess they were literally missing the one that had to be put down. God bless that poor little puppy over the rainbow bridge. But I guess she was missing like half her hip bone or something, like it just didn't form. It was probably due to irresponsible backyard breeding. I think they said that the vet thought they might have been mixed with a corgi or another much smaller dog, trying to get it to look cute or maybe reduce the size of a husky. And yeah, they were missing bones. Some bones were fused together that really shouldn't be, and one of them was in horrendous pain. The other one's never going to quite be okay, but she might be compatible with life. They're both still girls. See, here's the thing. I thought one of them was a boy because of how much bigger she was compared to her sister. To tell you how poorly that little girl was doing. But I don't know. I just learned today that they had to put one of those puppies down. And it fucking broke my heart. And I should have known. I could see that that dog was not okay. So yeah, I had a pretty rough day. I've had a pretty rough couple of days. With that Monster Hunter video that was so utterly scuffed was like just the start of it. And I just haven't really gotten better. It hasn't really gotten better for me emotionally since then. I'm just kind of struggling to keep on keeping on, but at least recording videos brings me like a sense of comfort, if that makes any sense, because it's like a routine. I really struggle to make routines, but because I don't want to let you guys down, all 4 of you, it's something that I can push myself to do, and because it's a routine, I feel better after having successfully recorded, if that makes sense. But yeah, sorry that my voice is raw. Tomorrow, as the crying child in FNAF 4 always says, tomorrow is another day, am I right? Oh boy. Sometimes I wish I could live without my frontal lobe, but here we are. You know, it'd be funny for like a Halloween episode or something, playing FNAF. But like, it'd be extra funny playing the 4th one because I literally cannot play that game anymore. It's entirely audio-based, so when you're auditory hallucinating, how the fuck are you supposed to hear the quiet breathings of the monsters just outside your door? Plus, if the voice in my head gets nervous, he talks more. So it'd probably just be me for half an hour getting jump scared and yelling at the voice in my head to shut the fuck up. I don't know. I do like FNAF, but I just cannot play that one anymore. Or any of them that's overly auditory based. Oh yeah, speaking of stuff that hit me in the feels, there's a, the Bones 5. He's like a Minecraft. He's a FNAF, like, challenge YouTuber. And he did, like, a really, really hard challenge. Because his dog passed away. But while he was training and completing the challenge, another challenge came around that then became the new hardest FNAF challenge. And because he set off to complete the hardest FNAF challenge for his dog's memory, he had to make his own new hardest challenge. And it was so heartwarming, I guess. I mean, it was really sad. I cried for a dog I'd never met because I love dogs, and I could tell how much he loved his. And I know what it's like to lose a dog, because I lost one not too long ago. But it's such a good video. Like, the fucking arcs in it are amazing. I'll post that in the description too. Dude, the video description at this point is just going to be loaded with other people's links, and at the very bottom there's probably gonna be like, join the Discord please, it's empty. Join the Discord. I've been told that it's important for some reason. I don't know why. Oh man. Well, I guess according to my mom, YouTube wasn't recommending my videos to her all last week, so she had to keep looking me up, so I guess maybe that's why. The algorithm was just like, nah. No Evo Day today. Or this week, for that matter. It's just not happening. Ugh. I've got to stop playing this at 9:45, which is like in 15 more minutes. And I feel like I've barely got anything on. But to be fair, I started at 8:30. Because I have to double record today to get caught back up after the Monster Hunter fiasco. So. But hey, look at that. We've actually got some fucking trees to work with. Maybe we can actually pull through and make some quick progress. Bark! I love how the first dog personality type that I had tamed was the fucking gremlin dog. I think that's really funny. I kind of see myself as a gremlin at times. Mostly because the stupidest shit excites me. I'm overexcitable. Oh my god. But then I have to get something to eat really quick and hopefully start recording again. And that's supposed to be the video for today. And then I can just go back to my normal recording schedule. Not that that really matters to you guys. As long as everything goes according to plan, there shouldn't be any hiccups in the recording schedule. I purposely like to make sure I have plenty of buffer room scheduled ahead, because if for some reason I am incapacitated and cannot physically bring myself to record or edit for a day, that I have plenty of time before the consequences will befall me. You know, it was better me than the dog. I think me as a player has more health, and I'm not even wearing any boots, so I don't think any durability of armor is lost. I see, that's why I should tell my dog right now to sit down there. I should tell- Pirate, I need you to sit, buddy, thank you. Because for that exact reason it happens right there. It was either me or the dog going overboard, and it certainly wasn't about to be the dog. Oh, my back. Ooh. I tell you what, my dogs haven't been listening today. I don't know why. Maybe they're getting spring fever. There's been a lot of people walking, because the weather's actually nice. So that's probably why. But also, I wish they were listening. I'm sure it's a pretty universal thing. I'm sure parents kind of have to deal with it too. Like, their kids get spring fever, and so they get really energetic and they want to go outside and play, and you're just like, I need you to sit still and be quiet for like 5 minutes, my little sweet summer child. Couldn't be me. I was really quiet as a kid. I mean, I didn't have any siblings, so it's not like I had anyone necessarily to play with. I mostly entertained myself through hybridization of board games. So, like, you know, I had a lot of, like, original characters that I made as a wee one. And I would play Uno and have an Uno bracket. Like a whole dead-ass Uno tournament played, quote-unquote, by my characters, which was really just me putting down hands, purposely forgetting what was in them, and then picking up the next hand so that I wouldn't have any knowledge. Thankfully, my memory wasn't much better than it was back then, so I could forget hands pretty easily. But just multiple hours and multiple rounds of Uno until I would get an Uno champion. Or that one time where I combined the game of Monopoly and the game of Life. I don't even have time to go into how that worked. Just know that it was really convoluted, and honestly, I could have just been I could have just made up my own game at that point. I really didn't need to get both boards out. Oh my god. Oh. Good times, though. I know it probably sounds like to a normal person who had like siblings or something, it probably sounds like really lonely and pathetic, but I had a great time. Shout out to Joe, the ultimate multi-Uno champion, which is wild, by the way. I don't know how one specific character managed to win a game of luck twice. I love Uno, but it's hard to get anyone to play with me because I like to add in a lot of dumb rules. From all my time playing by myself, you know, to keep things interesting. At least we can hopefully get the frame of the second story, and that would be really cool. And then we can work on the side roofs, and then I want another story up, and then another story down. It's going to be a very large farm, and it doesn't really need to be, but it's going to look really pretty. You see, this is probably my downfall as like a Minecraft YouTuber right now, is that you look at a lot of people who like do chill, cozy Let's Plays, and either they'll make smaller builds with like smart use of space and stuff, or they'll make really grand buildings that I could not dare come close to, and here I am making ye old mansion for the moo-moos. That's what I like to do. It's how I like to have fun playing the game. Once we get the roof and everything down, we can go back to having Pirate following us around again. Time check. It's 9:40. Sorry, my glasses hit the microphone. Is it going to be worth spending another 5 minutes? That depends on how many trees we can get to grow. Oh my god. The bone meal gods really blessed us. Let's go. Lock in. Today for dinner, I had cheesy chicken, broccoli, and rice bowl. And we have bananas and these massive strawberries. Like, for some reason, the strawberries this time were huge. And they taste really good. So, very yummy dinner. I had to request from my husband that we buy a family-sized box of Cheez-Its. Because I have a medical condition called intestinal little bitch syndrome, or IBS. ILBS, yeah, ILBS. And it switches from being constipated, like from being constipated to going back to diarrhea, and so when it leans towards the diarrhea, knowing that I'm gluten intolerant and my body can't really digest it, I'll purposely eat a whole family-sized box of Cheez-Its within the weekend, and it beautifully slows everything down to a reasonable speed again. Life hacks, I guess. Which is interesting, because normally when you think of somebody being intolerant to a food, you think about it giving them, like, diarrhea. Like, people who are lactose intolerant. It'll go right through them. But for me, I tell you what, gluten fucking just brings everything to a screeching halt. Which is what I need right now, so... Thanks, Cheez-Its. I still wish you'd buy some I still wish you'd make some gluten-free ones so that I can enjoy your delectable crackers without having to have diarrhea. Oh my god. I'm playing a game on my Switch, because I play games while waiting for the antipsychotic to kick in and I can actually go to bed, and playing a game on my Switch is, like, really easy because it's handheld, so I can play it in bed. And, oh, hi, Muse. I thought you were Ojo for a minute. I should have known. You're quite a bit lighter than her. Ojo got fat, guys. But, what the fuck was I saying? Train of thought gone. Muse is adorable. Ojo got fat. Life is good right now. Look at all this wood. That's what she said. Listen, a good "that's what she said" joke still cracks me up, even though I'm in my mid-20s. I can't lie. I've emotionally regressed since turning 18. I heard bad sounds. I did hear bad sounds. I've actually learned that creepers sound different from most other creatures. I don't know why, but the steps that they make are just a little slower than, like, a zombie or a skeleton on the move. It's a little bit. It's ever so slowly, and literally at first I thought it was a zombie. That was just walking. That was, like, just barely walking. I wonder where they're coming from, because I'm sleeping through the night. So there must be, like, probably from down there. Yeah, that would do it. Which, I hear another skeleton around. And if I was feeling more up to it, I'd go and slay it so I can get a bone and hopefully get another dog. But as it stands, I don't feel up to it. We'll save that for another episode, getting Pirate a buddy. I'd like to get one of each type of dog personality. And if they're all black dogs, that's fine. I already kind of did, like, a challenge run of getting all of the different dog breeds in a survival world, and I'm not really sure I'd want to do it again. Because sometimes traveling to another biome, specifically for a dog, is really hard. Like, I don't know, we're surrounded by cold. So what's... I think... Like, dogs spawn in the savannah, right? A type of dog? How far away is this? Yeah, do you guys want to spend all the time walking 3,623 blocks to the nearest savannah for a one specific type of coat of Minecraft dog and then walk all the way back and then get one of each personality? No, I don't think so. That was the miserable part, you know. And you know what's worse is because this is technically a cheat, right? I've cheated. Aren't I awful? But because you've already bit the bullet and cheated to get this information, they make it so you can just click on this to teleport. And you know how tempting that is when you have to spend so much time walking 3,623 blocks one way. So, yo, real quick, weird tangent. How fast do you travel in Minecraft? So, sprinting on... how walking? Because we can't... The amount of food it would take to sprint. About 4 meters per second. So that's 4 blocks per second. 3,000 divided by 4. So that's 750 seconds divided by 60. That's 12.5 minutes, assuming I just have to walk in a straight line one way. Not to mention, you can't walk in a straight line if we had to go in that direction, or really any direction, because this is really woody and mountainous. It's a nightmare. The fucking click here to teleport is so fucking tempting. And then, because we keep inventory. Well, we can't just kill ourselves, because the dog won't teleport back home, because the chunk will immediately de-render. But, like, yeah. At least we'd only have to spend 12.5 minutes walking instead of 25 minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna go quickly eat dinner so that I can also record Monster Hunter. So, I hope you had fun. Hope you have a good day. A better day than what I'm having. And I hope I'll see you again Monday. Because this is supposed to be Tranquil Thursday and not miserable Monday. Bye!